Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Mii Weekly, this time for Friday, June 11th, 2021. I'm Hero TJ, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. The 2021 Electronic Entertainment Experience is but a few blinks away. There's not a whole lot of breaking news in the lead up to the show, so I've got a special Mii feature planned for today. But before we get to that, this year's E3 is the first all-virtual experience. It'll be broadcast live between tomorrow, being June 12th, through Tuesday, June 15th. You can watch it live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, even on Twitter. It's free for everyone, so we're sure to be on the receiving end of a deluge of new information. As of the time you're seeing this, Summer Games Fest probably already begun, and that will run right into the official start of E3. Nintendo Wire has created an E3 2021 news hub to help you keep track of everyone's presentation schedule. I'll link to that in the description below. As a friendly reminder, Nintendo's E3 Direct will premiere on Tuesday, June 15th at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 12 p.m. Eastern Time and 12 o'clock midnight for me here in Taiwan. I'm sure all of you are looking forward to what Nintendo has in store just as much as I am. Next week's edition of Mii Weekly will be a dedicated E3 breakdown with a recap of Nintendo's presentation, as well as my own personal thoughts and impressions. So look forward to that as well. Now onto this week's special Mii feature. I've been gaming with Nintendo since the original NES system, but things really leveled up with the release of the Nintendo Wii, which also introduced Mii's, customizable Nintendo avatars that allow you to participate and interact with Nintendo games in a more personal way than ever. Mii's continued to be a big part of the experience on the Wii U. The 3DS and its Street Pass got all kinds of Mii love, and even though Mii characters have always been a part of the Switch, I was certainly left with the impression that they were much less of a focal point. On the Nintendo Switch Nintendo News channel, there was a recent article titled Games with Mii Characters, and much to my delight, I can't help but feel like Mii characters on the Nintendo Switch are experiencing a bit of a Miisurgence. So I thought we'd just run through the 6 games featured in this article, chat a little bit about the Mii functionality, and hopefully this new Mii renaissance is only just the beginning. The article begins by introducing what a Mii character actually is. Creating your own Mii characters can be a ton of fun. Whether you've created a character to look like you, your friends, or family members, these games allow you to insert your Miis into their story. The first title featured, appropriately enough, is Miitopia. Create Mii characters of your family and friends, then cast them in a comedy-filled adventure to bring down the face-stealing Dark Lord. Customize each character, assign them roles, and watch them come to life. I have been poring over Miitopia the last couple weeks. I can't remember the last time I've enjoyed a game this much, probably Breath of the Wild. In fact, I don't think I'm overstating it to say Miitopia might be my favorite game that I've ever played that doesn't have the words Legend of Zelda in the title. And if you played the game anything like me, it almost even is a Legend of Zelda game. You can certainly cast any Mii characters that you want, family, friends, whoever, but I basically turned mine into a bigger crossover than Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which, speaking of, is the next game in our Mii feature. Legendary game worlds and fighters collide in the ultimate showdown. Create your own Mii fighters and get ready to battle. Mii characters debuted in Super Smash for Wii U and 3DS, coming in 3 flavors: Brawler, Gunner, and my personal favorite, Sword Fighter. I became a Mii Sword Fighter main and have never looked back since. The next game hasn't actually released yet. Hit the green with familiar Mushroom Kingdom characters in the Mario Golf Super Rush game. Jump into Golf Adventure and enroll your Mii character in golf training to earn experience points, improve your character's stats, and bring them and their customized stats into other modes. I'm not the world's biggest golf fan, and while I do love me some Mario sports games, golf is one that for whatever reason never grabbed me, but they had me at Mii Adventure mode. I'm certainly excited to take to the course with some speed golf with my Mii main, Hero TJ. Next up, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Battle in various modes as one of your favorite Mushroom Kingdom friends, or jump into the driver's seat with your Mii character. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe boasts one of the best rosters of any Mario Kart game to date, and yet I can't seem to bring myself to race as anyone other than Mii. I love tearing up the course as Hero TJ. The 5th game in our Mii feature is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Take on 2 family-friendly side-scrolling adventures with up to 3 friends as you try to save the Mushroom Kingdom. Enjoy 3 additional game modes in which you can also play as your Mii character: Challenges, Boost Rush, and Coin Battle. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, I find this one to be a bit of a letdown. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe includes both New Super Mario Bros. U and also New Luigi U, neither of which allow you to play as your Mii character in the main game. You can only choose your character in the side modes, and I can't exactly understand why that is. There's nothing unique about the way your Mii character moves. It's basically a Mario palette swap with the likeness of your Mii. I don't know exactly why it is Nintendo wouldn't let me save the Mushroom Kingdom in the proper game. It's always been a dream of mine. I'm a big side-scrolling Mario fan and all, but personally, I'd much rather handle business on Bowser and his baddies as Mii. And the final game featured is Go Vacation. Welcome to Kauai Island, a paradise resort where friends and family can enjoy co-op and competitive activities. Choose an avatar or bring your Mii into the game to explore the island. With 4 different resorts, you can explore different environments and their corresponding activities. Of the 5 currently available games on this list, Go Vacation is the only one I haven't ever actually played. I remember seeing the original trailer, and I guess it just didn't grab me. If you have played Go Vacation, let me know if it's worth the pickup in the comment section below. And that does it for this article. Who knows what lies in store for Mii Characters? It'd be great to get a Nintendo Land type game here on the Nintendo Switch. I'm so blown away by Miitopia, and especially the Mii creation tools that allow you to essentially transform a Mii character into anything you could possibly dream up. Could you imagine a Mii editor that robust in a Super Smash Bros. Game? I'm super excited to see what's on the horizon for Miis, and here's hoping they have a bright future ahead. Now playing! Today marks the release of a new Nintendo game called Game Builder Garage. The core conceit of this title is that it provides you with the basic building blocks to program your own video game. The trailer was really cute, it had a lot of that signature Nintendo brand charm, plus the game's only $30. And even though the toolkit looks rather simple, it becomes apparent rather quickly that there's a lot of power under the hood. While I would say I have more than a passing interest in the game, my primary incentive for purchasing it was for my kids. But after dipping my feet in for about a half hour, it became pretty clear pretty quick that with the possible exception of my 8-year-old, this game is still a bit of a ways off for my 4 and 6-year-old. Game Builder Garage opens with one doozy of a troll move. The game insists that you collect this apple, which looks simple enough. You can move your character around, and it tells you that you can jump with B, but no matter how many times you depress the button, nothing happens. They left it hanging long enough for all kinds of questions to appear in my mind. Are my controllers not synced properly? Is something interrupting my signal? And because they were Joy-Cons, I had to legitimately wonder if they even worked at all. But after they let those thoughts hang in the air for sufficiently long, the game reveals it was just messing with you, and that if you want to get your character to jump, you have to program it yourself. And for the next 20 or 30 minutes, I did a whole lot of reading. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Reading. Now, I'm sure as I start to become more acquainted with the tools of the game, it'll open up a little bit more and I'll have a little bit more to do. I understand a game of this nature requires quite an extensive setup, and they do try their best to jazz it up with some spirited conversation and vibrant, colorful characters, but it is dry. And after about 10 minutes of that, I was really starting to lose my motivation. Like I said, these are really only early impressions of the very opening of the game. At this juncture, I'm certainly willing to give it some more time, but so far the fun factor is non-existent. This episode's Spirit of the Week comes from Chloe Klingman. We're looking at number 262, Totem Link, from The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Unlike the vast majority of titles in the Legend of Zelda series, which tend to be one-player solo adventures, Triforce Heroes places a core emphasis on multiplayer. Instead of the 4 different colored versions of Link joining forces to battle enemies and solve puzzles like in 4 Swords and 4 Swords Adventures, Triforce Heroes features 3 Links who must set off together to break a curse on the fashion-centric princess of Miitopia. The 3 Links utilize a combination of various abilities granted by their rather extensive wardrobe selections, and also by reaching new heights with the game's principal feature, stacking atop one another to form a totem. As a grab spirit, Totem Link can offer an advantage against shield spirits, but doesn't afford the player any other effects. Thanks to Chloe for the suggestion. If there's a particular spirit you'd like to see featured as the Spirit of the Week, leave your suggestion in the comment section below, and if yours is selected, you'll be recognized in the episode with an on-screen credit, just like Chloe. Now it's time to sound off. In honor of Nintendo's upcoming E3 presentation, my question for you is, what Legend of Zelda announcement are you hoping for at E3? Legend of Zelda has a long-standing tradition of E3 reveals. Triforce Heroes, for example, which we just talked about in the last section, was announced at E3 2015. In fact, if you look through the list of Legend of Zelda games, I think you'll find a good many, if not most, were first revealed at E3, including 2017's Breath of the Wild and the upcoming sequel. We already know that The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD is coming to Nintendo Switch on July 16th of this year, but that's currently the only Legend of Zelda title with a hard release date. It's not likely we'll see too much about that game on E3 because we already know pretty much everything there is to know about it. It's highly likely that we'll get some new information about the sequel to Breath of the Wild, maybe a new cinematic trailer, possibly some gameplay, and hopefully a release window. Personally, I doubt we're going to see Breath of the Wild 2 before 2022, but it is Zelda's 35th anniversary, and I doubt Nintendo's going to let it go by without a little bit more pomp and circumstance. Sure, they could re-release Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD for Nintendo Switch, and they might very well do that, but what I'd rather they do, and I don't think this is completely outside the realm of possibilities, what I'm hoping for is a Hero of Time 2-pack. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask upgraded for Nintendo Switch based on the 3D remakes for the 3DS. Of course, they could just cheaply slap the N64 titles together, throw them up in the eShop as a limited time exclusive, and disreputably garner a quick pile of cash from nostalgic gamers with the most minimalistic, half-hearted of efforts. But I think porting the 3DS versions will be much more accessible to gamers who might have first discovered The Legend of Zelda through Breath of the Wild. While I played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask to death when they originally released on the Nintendo 64, I never had a chance to revisit them on the Nintendo 3DS, and if I had the opportunity to play the enhanced versions on the Nintendo Switch, I'd certainly jump on it. But that's enough of me. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And that wraps up another edition of Mii Weekly. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy E3! I hope all your wildest video game fantasies come true. Be sure to join me right back here again next Friday for my E3 recap and impressions. Until then, have an amazing week. This is Hero TJ signing out. Thanks for playing.